All right, man, I got her right here. She's all ready to go, all fueled up. Oh yeah, man. Thanks for letting me use this thing. This thing is sick. Yeah, she is a beast. Hey, just bring it back in the same condition I give it to you in. Borrow it anytime. Of course. Even got the helmet in there for you, all cleaned up, and I disinfected it for you. Thanks, you dweeb. What? I said Steve. Thanks, Steve. My name's not Steve. You know, the yellow on this really looks great. It really does. Oh, one more thing before you load up. Don't forget to have fun. Thanks again, man, for letting me use the truck and the Maverick. What a good guy. Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for letting me use the side-by-side. Yeah, no problem. Oh, here's your helmet. Thanks. Hey, well, listen, man, I really got to roll, but hey, man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Son of a bitch.
In the last video, I showed you guys this 400EX that we paid $900 for, and she really is a beauty. But seriously, this quad really is amazing, and it's in great shape for the year. Now, before I even get started on this video, please give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this content, and leave me a comment below what you think. The comments help me out big time, boosting me in the algorithm. And if you're interested ever in any of the t-shirts that I'm wearing in any of my videos, if I have them for sale, there will be a link in the pinned comment along with the chapters in this video. This 400 really is nothing short of a barn find. It was sitting on the side of a house for a few years, and the previous owner just didn't want to see it sitting like that. They wanted to see it go to somebody who was actually going to take care of it. And not only did we find out that all of the bearings, even the steering stem is tight, but it actually runs really good too. So after letting it sit and idle for about 20 minutes, the damn thing doesn't even smoke. It actually runs really good. So this was a smoking deal. Now, I paid $900 for this, and for the first portion of this series, I want to do a $900 challenge. Well, $1,000 in total, actually. So we had $100 to make this thing run. Now, I'm not going to be taking any support from any companies or anything for this portion, so this is going to be a legit $1,000 machine. So I think it's time that we strip off the plastics and take a closer look at this so that we can order some parts and make this thing ready for the trails. So now that the plastics have been removed, you can start to see the age of this thing. If you take a close look at it, you can see there's rust pretty much all over this thing. It's really not bad, and that's not a sign that it hasn't been taken care of, but it's just been sitting for quite a while, and it was outside for a long time. But it doesn't necessarily mean it was abused. See, there's just rust kind of all over the thing. You can see it back here. I don't think it's really structurally compromised at all. You look at the axle, the chain, not looking too bad. Here's that little hole that's in the exhaust. Ooh, good bit of rust under here. Everything seems solid though. I don't think we're really gonna have any issues. And this tube here, man, this is either usually broken or missing. This little guard that goes under the tank in between the head, that's something that's usually missing. Up front, that guard for the brakes, that's usually missing. Just stuff that people usually take off and they don't put it back on, or they delete it right away. This flap I was saying in the other video, I've never even seen that before. It's some kind of, I guess, protector. Oh, look at that. Got a guest. But yeah, I've never seen one of those flaps before. So definitely a rare machine. This flap here, just stuff that usually disappears. And now it's pretty evident that the steering stem is bent. You can see this side is lower. So we'll have to straighten that thing out. Definitely not the safest method of doing that, but you know what, man? When money's an issue, you just got to take care of it. So we'll straighten that thing out. I did leave the tank on here because I want to fire it up and drain the oil. And actually what we're going to be doing is removing the head and the flywheel, because I'm going to be going down to see Dave Moore in less than a week, actually. And he said he's got some tricks, some free mods for the 400 that'll really open it up and make it a lot more powerful. And it's going to be crazy, but it's going to be a free mod and it's going to be sweet. So let's heat this thing up, drain the oil, and we'll pull the head off. The oil really doesn't look half bad. This was probably changed when it was put away or something. All right, man, check this stuff out. Got our bolts and whatnot over here. Got the head right here. You can see there's just a little bit of carbon buildup in there. It's really not too bad. Stuff is actually in pretty good shape. Here's our cam cover with our rockers. That looks really good. All of the oil was really clean in this too. Got our bolts and stuff, our cam, all that stuff looks good. Our chain tensioner, bolts and whatnot. Got our cam gear. Got our old gaskets. Even the old gaskets came off pretty easily. Check this spark plug out, man. I think this might literally be like the original plug. It works though. And here's the top of the piston. It's got some carbon buildup on there too, but same thing, man. It really does not look that bad. It's a shame because right now it would be so easy to pull that off and put like a 416 on here and a high compression piston. Oh, it's tough not to do that right now. But for now, we're just going to stick with the $1,000 budget. So I want to pull off the flywheel also because we're probably going to lighten up the flywheel, advance the timing, and do some port work on the head. That should wake this motor up quite a bit, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the flywheel. All right, guys, here is our stator cover. Got the stator in there, our pickup coil, and we got the flywheel right here. If you guys are ever removing one of these and you don't have the removal tool, your local hardware store might actually have it. That's actually what I did. I thought I had the 400EX flywheel remover, and I didn't. And it's actually just an M20 by 1.5 bolt. So I got lucky, ran down to the store, and they had that. But that's a trick. So at this point, all of the stuff that I'm going to be bringing down to Dave Moore's is taken off. Now the question is, where are we going to allocate this $100 so that we can get A, the best performance, but B, we want to make it through the day. So some of this stuff is really going to be for reliability, and beggars can't be choosers, guys. We have very minimal amount of money to spend here. So let's look this thing over really quick and see if we can allocate this stuff to best suit our needs. Now, my thinking in creating the most competitive quad, if you want to even call it that, is going to be freeing up everything, making it so that there's no resistance anywhere. I want this thing to be able to roll really easily so that we can get every ounce of power out of that 400 that we possibly can. So I don't want the brakes dragging. I don't want the chain dragging. Now, besides that, we're going to have to get a battery. So if you saw in the last video, I said that it was possible that this could be salvaged. It can't, man. It's totally wasted. I tried trickle charging it, and it's just totally dead. Now, luckily, I do have a couple brands where the batteries are usually like 20 bucks. So that should be able to fit into the budget. Not too bad. Now, the chain, it rolls okay. We could lube it up, and it would work. But I've actually run some really good cheap chains that, I kid you not, were $15. They're roller chains. This is an O-ring chain, probably all dry rotted anyways. And the roller chain will have less resistance. Believe it or not, on the KFX, that has one of those $15 chains, and it's holding up. So I'm probably going to go with the chain. I don't think we need sprockets. I don't think we can afford sprockets. And I'm also going to get brake pads, really cheap brake pads. I kind of have to, man. I was looking at them, and they're slim. It needs brakes, and probably we'll take those apart, clean them up. We'll smooth on, make sure the brake slides and pins are all nice and smooth and working nice and easy, because we don't want any drag at all. And of course, we'll be straightening out the steering stem, because you got to have good controls, man. Good controls, I feel like, changes the dynamics of the bike. So at least making that straight, it's going to make it a little bit weaker, bending it back straight, but I'd rather bend it back straight and have better controls. We'll probably clean all this stuff up. Maybe we'll get some cheapy levers. Probably not, though. We'll probably just run them. And oh man, these things are degrading. They're actually, the grip on them is good, but they're tacky. They're just old from sitting. So those are going to get replaced. And then the tires, luckily, when I bought the KFX 450R, Joe Newberry offered me a set of tires for it. Now, they were used tires, these Maxxis Razors. I don't have them with me. I actually left them in his house because I wasn't planning on using them. But I asked him if I could still have them, and he said yes. So I'm going to consider that a free mod, because they're used tires. I think it's pretty realistic that, most people that ride have friends that ride, and there's usually somebody who takes their tires off long before they're actually wasted, and you could trade easily. And these are not brand new tires. I'd say I can't really remember. They have like 70%, 65%. They're better than what's on here, though. So I'm not going to count that against the budget. I think that's fair. It's a used part. The other thing I might be doing is somebody offered to trade me a White Brothers exhaust. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but that's realistic also. The guy literally said it's too loud for him, and he wants a stock exhaust. So that's another one of those things, like you trade with your buddies. I think that's realistic. Some other things I want to do are straighten out this Nerf bar, sharpen the pegs up, and then if it fits in the budget, I'd like to at least get a head gasket. I think the gasket up here is fine. This pulled right off, and I think it's actually in good shape. We could actually reuse that. Yes, we're actually going to reuse a gasket. This is going to be, some people, they literally can't even afford gaskets, man. This is going to be, like I said, legit $1,000 project. And if we have to, I will use this. I will reuse this head gasket if I have to do it. Now, remember, guys, this is for fun. So it's not like one of those things where people are like, oh, you're so dumb reusing gaskets. Dude, sometimes people have to do that. And we're going to be tearing this thing down and making it a 416 with a high compression piston afterwards anyways. So it's going to be fun to see if it holds up. And we might be able to afford gaskets. If I could afford a cheap gasket kit, I'll get one. And I'll show you here. We're probably going to need a gasket over here also. I mean, I could clean that up and use RTV and probably get by. But, highly not recommended. Now, something else I'm going to mention is I'm not going to count oil against the budget. These K&N filters actually came with the quad. The previous owner had 2 extra ones. So we have the oil filters. I'm not going to count oil. And the only other thing that I'm not going to hold against the budget is going to be jets, because I have several jets here and I can easily switch those out. Those are usually only a couple bucks anyways. Now, that being said, I'm still going to include that stuff in the spreadsheet, because maybe we can fit the oil and everything under $1,000. So let's hop to the computer and see what we got going on price-wise. All right, guys, here we are over at ebay.com. Great spot to get cheap parts. Let's jump right into it and search for our battery. We will go lowest to highest. Here we go, $23.99. It's the cheapest battery I could find. I'm telling you, man, I haven't used this brand in particular, but I've bought cheap batteries before, and sometimes the cheap ones are better than the expensive ones. It's crazy. So this is a pretty universal battery. This is for a 400EX, so add to cart. Now let's see if we can get a chain. It is a 520 by 94. $15.95. Let's go to lowest first again. Boom. $14.99. Heavy duty O-ring. Not O-ring. It's heavy duty. Oh, it's got the H on there. You gotta know this is a good chain. Probably super reliable. 520. Where's the tensile strength? 8,500 pound tensile strength. Dude, this is probably one of the strongest chains in the world. Add to cart. All right, let's see if we can find some cheap brake pads. All right, Coltrick. I've used Coltrick before. Let's go lowest first. $10. Oh my God, $10.96. Oh man. Ooh. These can't be good. We'll get them anyway. This is front and rear. Semi-metallic front and rear pads. It says Raptor. What? 400EX. Try it out. Add to cart. All right, and then I did notice that one of the seat cushions is missing for the latch under the seat, so we'll replace that. We wouldn't really need to do that, but I kind of want to. $475, $350 shipping. Can't really go wrong with that. It's a Honda part. Add to cart. All right, let's see the cheapest ATV grips that we can possibly get. And the only thing I'm going to change here is US only, because I don't feel like waiting like 3 months. All right, $5.99. Let's check it out. Ooh, it's even a dual compound. Let's see what colors. Yellow. They have yellow. Yellow and orange. So we're good to go, man. That'll match. $6 with free shipping. Add to cart. All right, let's see if we can find a gasket kit that fits into the budget. Dude, this is ridiculous. Complete gasket kit, top and bottom end, for $9.99 with free shipping. These can't be good gaskets, but we're gonna get them anyway. That's quality for sure. Add to cart. All right, we're at $74.17. We do have to account for tax, but there's one other thing that I want to see if we can afford. $7.99. Wow. They have all these different styles too. Like a Kawasaki, Honda. There we go. So I think for $8, this will actually bring up the look of the bike just a little bit. Add to cart. All right, so there we go. All right, so here's the parts list. Pretty chintzy, but it's all coming from the US, so it should get here in a reasonable amount of time. So with tax and everything, we're at $87.56, which is absolutely ridiculous. That even leaves room for some cheap 10 weight 40 oil and even brake fluid. So the parts are ordered. We should be good to go. Now I'm leaving for Texas in 2 days, so I'm actually gonna be away for probably about 2 weeks. Unfortunately, I may not have a video up for you guys for the next couple weeks, but I am gonna have plenty of posts on my Instagram. It's Michael Sabo 350. Definitely give me a follow if you wanna follow along and see what's going on in Texas. We're gonna be doing all kinds of ATV stuff, and it's gonna be badass. So hopefully by the time I get back, all of the parts for the 400EX will be here. We can throw this thing together, make it rideable at that $1,000 budget, and we can have some fun with that while we work on Project YZ125. That will be coming right around the corner as soon as I get back from Texas. And then once we've had our fun with this at $1,000, we're gonna put a little bit more money into this, and I'm thinking a 416 piston, high compression, maybe not crazy high compression, something like 11-to-1. We're gonna have that port work done to the head already. Maybe we'll do a full exhaust system and see if we can really wake this thing up. So again, guys, thank you for watching. Please give me that thumbs up if you enjoyed this content. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of all of my choices for the $1,000 budget, and if you think that I should have got something different. Until the next one, everybody stay safe. I love all you guys. Peace out.